It's officially 6 o'clock, time to start the regular Board of Trustees meeting for July 8th, 2024, July 9th, sorry.
Ms. Orch?
Here.
Mr. Unger?
Here.
Mr. Waller?
Here.
And Mr. Wedbach, is there a need for an executive session?
Yes, I would recommend that the board motion to go into executive session in pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G1 to discuss employment and dismissal of public employees, and in accordance with 121.22G3 to discuss pending or imminent litigation.
I motion that we go into executive session for the reasons detailed by Administrator Weckbach.
I'll second.
Ms. Orch?
Here, yes?
Mr. Unger?
Wrong one.
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Okay, we will be back around 7 o'clock. You have roll call?
Ms. Orch?
Here.
Mr. Unger?
Here.
Mr. Waller?
Here.
Anything to present from executive meeting?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Okay, so at this time, we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And for our moment of meditation, I just want to thank dear Lord for putting people in our life that are generous, caring, dedicated, and responsible. And let's pray for those who need that type of help in their lives. Thank you. Okie dokie. We have approval of minutes, Mr. Baker?
Yes, thank you, Board. I have two sets of minutes for your approval tonight. First are the minutes from the special meeting held on June 25th, 2024.
I motion that we approve the minutes from the special meeting held on June 25th, 2024.
I'll second.
Ms. Orch?
Yes.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Thank you. Secondly, I have the minutes from the regular meeting also held on June 25th, 2024.
I motion that we approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on June 25th, 2024.
I'll second.
No comments.
Ms. Orch?
Yes.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Presentations.
First presentation tonight will be by Chief Alan Walls of swearing in a new employee.
Good evening to the board and everybody in attendance this evening. It gives me a great privilege to introduce and swear in our newest career firefighter paramedic, Megan Unger. Megan, would you come forward, please? Megan hails from the Cleveland area. She has a Bachelor of Science in Speech and Hearing from the University of Cincinnati. She received her EMT from Butler Tech in 2019, her paramedic from Cincinnati State in 2021, and her firefighter 1 and 2 here at the Colerain Fire Academy in 2023. Megan's been part-time with us since 2023, and tonight she'll be pinned by Brooke Schuerman. Raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I state your name.
I, Megan Unger,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
I'll abide by the Colerain Fire EMS
I'll abide by the Colerain Fire EMS
mission statement,
mission statements,
values,
values,
code of ethics,
code of ethics,
standard operating guidelines,
standard operating guidelines,
and the township's policies and procedures.
and the township's policies and procedures.
I'll faithfully discharge the duties of firefighter paramedic
I'll faithfully discharge the duties of firefighter paramedic
in and for Colerain Township,
and Colerain Township,
Hamilton County,
Township
the
Mountain,
state of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
to the best of my
to
ability,
the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me.
Thank you for joining us.
Congratulations. Congratulations, and there's a very similar pronunciation of Megan's last name and mine. They're spelled differently. We are not related. I have not met you before this evening. So congratulations and welcome aboard.
Thank you, Mr. Unger.
And thank you for all you EMS people coming out and blessing us with your presence.
Thank you, and thank you for all that you do.
All right, Board, the next item on the agenda is a public hearing. This is the public hearing for the 2025 tax budget. This is a requirement in order to adopt the tax budget that we receive public input on what's been put together. This was properly noticed, and I would recommend opening the public hearing.
I'll motion to open up the public hearing on the 2025 tax budget.
I will second Matt's motion.
Ms. Orich?
Yes.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
You want to swear in anybody that here is to speak to the public hearing? Is there anybody here to speak on behalf of the public hearing?
Seeing no one speaking on this public hearing, I would recommend closing the public hearing.
I'll motion to close the public hearing on the 2025 tax budget.
I will second it.
Any discussion?
None.
None?
Ms. Orich?
Yes.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
So we're on to citizen address, and I do not have any of those either. And did anybody out there not fill out one? Okay, then we will move on to administrative reports.
Thank you, Board. And the first administrative report, it will be Chief Ed Cordy.
Welcome, Chief.
Okay, let's go on to the police department here. For June, we responded to 3,949 calls. It's an average of 132 calls per day. We're looking at a 12% increase in calls over June of last year, and we're about 8% increase in our calls for service this year. We're about 1,700 calls more than we were by the end of June of last year. For the month, we conducted 374 traffic stops, handled 139 crash reports, and made 144 arrests. We had 11 OVIs, only 2 uses of force, which were both pepper ball deployments, 3 vehicle pursuits, and 1 internal investigation. The busiest days of the week, no rhyme or reason, Sunday, followed by Saturday. And we were busy between the hours of 8 a.m. and 1 a.m. Jumping into code enforcement. Total violations, we had 312, 338 inspections. We closed 46 violations. We referred 2 to housing court and had a total of 7 abatements. Property maintenance violations of 29, zoning violations of 23. Our ECU officers handled 19 abandoned vehicles, 28 parking complaints, and communicated with the public on 59 occasions. Our impact stats for the month. Just keep in mind while reading this off here, majority of the team was off for more than half of the month, being that they were directly involved with the Kroger incident. So still the impact team conducted 14 traffic stops, 14 felony charges, 8 misdemeanor charges, 5 felony warrants, 4 traffic warrants. They seized 38.8 grams of meth, 4 grams of fentanyl, 1.5 pounds of cocaine, towed 6 vehicles, 3 canine deployments, assisted the road with 45 details while conducting 4 search warrants. And just an update on the current staffing, we're down to 59 officers. Any questions?
I just wanted to highlight for the board here, when we look at traffic stops, that through June, we are exceeding our highest since we've been really tracking that going back to 2019. So pre-COVID, we have exceeded and eclipsed that despite some of our limitations in staffing.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of piggyback on that and thank Chief. I think there was a narrative out there when the levies were around that, you know, the police were trying to be seen more because there was a levy out there. And despite the disappointing results of both those levies, you're still being seen more. And I think that's a credit to the professionalism of the force. And I talked to you before the meeting and talked about a double accident that I witnessed yesterday on near Colerain and Ronald Reagan. That just the amount of patience some of your officers has is just must be God-given, because it's just amazing. Thank you for the great job that you're doing.
And Chief, just to show that you work on holidays, when I contacted you Thursday, July 4th, and apparently the light over at Clara and, I'm sorry, at Coogan and Adams was stuck on green for Coogan for 2 days. And I guess for the process, that's really a county engineer thing. So how did you resolve that?
Just reach out to our on-duty officers. They make notification through the communication center. They contact the engineer's office, who unfortunately is not a 24/7 operation to
Right.
be able to respond to these. They can if they deem it as emergency, but that usually just piles up until the next shift that they have somebody available.
Sure, and thank you for replying back that day. And yeah, the light was, I guess it was stuck on green for Coogan for at least 36 hours. So, which is very dangerous, which is why any intersection I ever go in, I always look both ways anyway. People generally don't pay attention to those anymore, so, but thank you for handling it.
Yeah. I think so many people think they're above the law. I discussed this with you. Sunday morning, getting on 275, car going 100 miles an hour between Colerain and Hamilton Avenue. Day before, I'm on the same road, lady just throwing all her fast food, drink, whatever, at my car. I'm sitting there going, oh my God. And I go out at Walmart and Lowe's light there's at least 3 cars that go through a red light. And all I say to myself is, we need way more cops. These people are just thinking the law does not apply to them. So congratulations to everything you are doing, and I wish we could have more of you out there to do way more.
I appreciate that, and I get countless requests for traffic enforcement, and there's no way to say it better than traffic is unchecked, and staffing is required to be able to get there to do that.
Right,
and,
it is.
Right now with an 8% increase in our calls for service, we're doing what we can do.
Thank you, and thank you all of your everybody that does all their hard work to keep this place safe.
Thank you.
Next administrative report will be provided by Assistant Administrator Mays.
Good evening.
Hello, board. I thought I was taller than Chief. Just a few things from the Public Services dashboard. Our vehicle counts for the parks year to date are as follows. For Clippard Park, we're at 40,943. This is very close to breaking the 2021 numbers, which are 42,452. So we're about 2,500 visits away from beating that record. Heritage Park is at 38,940. Again, we're close to beating last year's numbers. We're about 4,000 vehicles from beating that number from last year. And Colerain Park, we're at 35,740. With this statistic, we've actually surpassed 2 of the years that we've already been through. 2023, we surpassed that almost, definitely double, almost triple. And then 2022, we were only at 24,271 visits. So we've surpassed that by at least 10,000 vehicles coming into our park. The litter program, we year to date so far have collected 1,035 bags of litter. So we're doing great with trying to clean up Colerain. The last item on my report is that we received notification last week that we've been awarded a state capital grant for a really fun project at Heritage Park. It would be our construction of a bouldering element, so it'll be one of the first of its kind in this area. We do have a couple indoor rock climbing facilities located within Hamilton County, but nothing outdoors, which will be really exciting for that area of Colerain. So it'll fit right into the niche of Heritage Park, and we're excited for that project to get going here probably in the next year or so.
Fine. Did anybody solve the mystery of the white domestic turkey on Heritage Park?
I don't believe so. That's interesting. No.
It was floating around Northbrook, and they had pictures, and they had the police gathering it, and people were walking, I guess, what did I call you, Friday? And the white domestic turkey was down there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank goodness it's not November.
So it's not where Waldo, it's where's the white domestic turkey.
Thank you, board.
Thanks, Tiffany.
And float is probably an appropriate term because turkeys can't fly really well, right? So, but our next report will be presented by Development Director David Miller.
We just love handouts. Oh, they're colored too. Thank you.
So, start with just, most importantly, a new high water mark for planning and zoning. We had 96 permits that we processed this 1 month. I think last month we were at maybe 67. And so, significant increase. And I think it definitely needs a shout out that our senior planner, David Peters, processed every one of those. Along with running 2 board meetings for Zoning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals. So I think noteworthy, again, 79 residential, just a variety of permits for residential, and then 17 commercial. We had 15 new single-family homes requested permits. Most of those are the Miranda homes in Northridge. There were a few in, I think they were Copper Creek.
Not Copper Creek. No, Copper Creek's off Sheed.
Okay. They were, where were, I was trying to remember where the other single-family homes were. But most of them were Northridge. There's a lot of activity going on there. Okay. But one other handout that I gave you, wanted to just kind of read through all the construction that's going on right now. It's either underway or it's being permitted. Lynn's Crafters is moving out of the mall, going to the vacant parcel at Best Buy. Ashley Furniture moving out of Northgate. It's going to be behind Chipotle in the old service merchandise space. Jeff Weiler Kia, former Colerain Bowl. Jeff Weiler Car Wash. They have a vacant lot at Sovereign and Colerain, so they're building a brand new car wash there. Northgate Ford is building a new service center. Jeff Weiler Nissan is doing a massive remodel. They're almost doing a tear down rebuild. Jeff Weiler Hyundai, that is going to be in front of Furniture Fair. It's the, I guess you could say, it's the former Northgate Ford, and so they're going to be building that out. We have Just Love Coffee. It's a little coffee shop in the former Sweetheart Cafe, right next to Outback. So we just got their applications yesterday or today. Valvoline's going in there at McCluskey Chevrolet. Bank of America, that was in the news just, I think, end of last week. So Half Price Books and AAA are going to be, well, Half Price I don't think has found a space yet. There is a space, I think, in that same strip that AAA is going to be able to go to, so they'll be staying. But that's going to be a new Bank of America. Of course, you know, we have 2 new firehouses being built. We have 2 Wawas that are going to be under construction soon. That activity is underway. Of course, you know, we cut the ribbon on SinFed and Phantom Fireworks. New construction beginning on 99 Landominiums at the old Beavis Elementary site by D.R. Horton. And then Vivera Northbrook, 118 units of senior assisted living. Rumpke has got a new scale house, and the customer service center, drop-off center has already been opened. And then Joseph Toyota's doing a car wash. So that is a long list. And I think we don't often see it. Not everything on the list, because either A, it's spread out, or B, it just gets lost in Colerain Avenue because it's so built out already. But this is all that's going on in the development world, and there's other things that are, I think, bubbling that we're excited about, and hopefully we'll have some more news on that.
Yeah, and just to add, I mean, there are probably, I mean, any one of us can probably think of 5 to 10 more things. So this is just a snapshot of some of the highlights for you all, and you know, there's always a lot going on in the township, and it's just a matter of where and what, just from my perspective from development.
I just said to Matt a little while ago, there's 62 houses currently up for sale in the MLS in all of Colerain. 62. 22 of them are new construction. So that's a lot of new construction coming into the township. Thank you.
And I haven't been yet. I know that Mr. Unger's been, because he talked about it last time. The new UDF seems to be,
I missed that one.
Yep,
Yeah,
you
there
did.
go.
Big one.
it's like a super UDF, I guess. It is, I keep getting questions from residents about, the Wawa on Colerain. Is that run into some snags, or is it full speed ahead, or?
I would probably describe it as due diligence.
Okay.
They have been working on the MSD connections and then working on costing out the deceleration lanes that they have to add in because of the traffic impact study. And so those two things are just taking up a lot of energy right now before they can get everything approved and start applying. I thought they had already applied for their building permits with the county, but there's a lot of activity certainly at Banning and Blue Rock.
Right. With regard to the one in Colerain, have we been provided a copy with that traffic impact study?
I believe we have a copy of that.
I don't know that I've seen it, but that doesn't mean that ODOT didn't submit it with some form of iteration or permit.
If we do, can you forward that to me? The important thing to me is the safety, the safety that comes.
And I know ODOT is requiring some significant improvements leading up to that intersection, and so that certainly is going to be a big part of that project, and something that they weren't anticipating when they were getting started, which has probably led to some of the slowdowns there.
So I guess my point is, I know, and you and I have talked about this, I know that ODOT's requiring this. I want to make sure that they continue to require it.
Sure.
Yeah. That bar doesn't change between now and then.
I think there's a traffic study going on right now because they just put them in between 275 and Dry Ridge right there on both sides. The traffic counters.
And this is just this is maybe just me, it's a personal thing, I don't know. I love that Ashley's advertising their going out of business sale for the last 37 and a half years. But I'm slightly offended, and it could be just me, I'm old school. I don't like it when people put that kind of stuff up on the veterans at the corner of Springdale and Colerain, and they're using that. I just kind of think when anybody puts anything up there, I don't like it. I guess there's really nothing we can do.
If it's on our property, we can.
Okay.
And so that's the important piece, that if you see something like that on our property, please let us know. I know our parks maintenance crew, when they check that corner, they'll typically remove any signs, advertisements, things like that. But, if it's the weekend, we're probably not going to be there at that park. So
Sometimes it's human beings out there.
Right, and I
There's
just,
a sign, and I've called you on it before.
If we're
Yeah.
notified, we can't let the on-duty park person know that's cleaning up shelters, and they could pop by and do something too. So those are
to me, that's kind of a sacred ground, and I don't know.
piece of the World Trade Center there. So.
Right, that's right. Yeah, and it's kept up. Our services department keeps it so nice, and and it's hard to keep a corner of Springdale and Colerain nice, and we do it, and I don't want to commercialize that.
And something else to keep in mind, not on David's list, but has been a large undertaking by staff for the past year, is the zoning rewrite. That is working its way through its process. Most of that right now is being worked section by section at the zoning commission level. And so we anticipate probably this fall at some point there will be a public hearing here, followed by a request for action from the board to adopt a whole new zoning, which will ensure that all this new development that's going on and continues to go on meets our standards of what we want Colerain to be.
Mr. Miller, I appreciate this list. I think it gives us, it doesn't give us a full view because it's not everything, but it gives us an idea of what's going on. It doesn't move at a quick pace sometimes. It takes a while. So you don't notice it. You don't notice it till you notice it. And this gives us a chance to notice.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Our next administrative report will be presented by Fire Chief Alan Walls.
Welcome back, Chief.
Thank you. And good evening again to everybody. Incident activity for June 2024. We had 778 EMS responses. Chief Willis, could you turn your mic on, please? My apologies. For our incident activity for 2024, June, we had 778 EMS responses, 180 fire incidents. We made 37 responses into the Springfield Township Pleasant Run EMS contract area. We made no calls into the Springfield Township West College Hill Golfway EMS contract area. We had one significant fire in the 2600 block of Impala. That was a $40,000 loss. We had the water rescue recovery at Heritage Park, and to quickly talk about an incident of that magnitude. So water rescue recovery necessitates a lot of resources outside of this township to conduct an incident like that, up to and including Cincinnati Fire Department Heavy Rescue 9, the Hamilton County USAR team, drone team, the Hamilton County Police Association dive team, as well as other units from Ross Township, Whitewater Township, City of Harrison, and Miami Township. So, you know, looking at collaboration and cooperation, we don't have a dive team. We utilize either Task Force 1 or the Hamilton County Police Association dive team. We don't have 2 heavy rescues in the township. We request a heavy rescue from the city of Cincinnati and they send it out. We don't have a drone team here in Colerain Township. We request Hamilton County USAR or another drone team, UAS 500. So, you know, by doing so, with that cooperation and collaboration, we're saving taxpayer dollars and cooperating and collaborating with other jurisdictions. In respect to reported fire loss, it was $40,000. Property value saved was $133,400. Our save rate cumulative for 2024 is 85.98%. Average response time for the arrival of the first unit was 4 minutes and 24 seconds. And first unit on the scene, less than 6 minutes, is 77.83%. Just to quickly speak about that 4 minutes and 24 second average time of arrival. So we're trying something different with technology. Instead of our company officers or acting officers having to push a button to go en route and or to push a button to arrive on the scene, we're using GPS technology where it can indicate when wheels are rolling and put us en route, and when we're within, say, 100 feet of the residence, it can automatically put us on the scene. You know, they can still manually go en route or manually go on the scene, but we're trying to fine tune, you know, what we do and get a technological idea of where we stand at with our response times. So some might say, well, they seem a little bit better. We're using technology to try to do that. That is my report for June of 2024. I was asked to speak about the contract areas in Springfield Township. So if you look at Springfield Township as a whole, basically their fire stations are centrally located. They have 4 corners that they can't quickly respond to in the event of emergency, and in particular EMS. So Colerain Township covers 2 of those corners, Pleasant Run and then West College Hill Golfway. When I say cover, we're either have a contract, as we do with Pleasant Run, or paid per run into West College Hill Golfway. As it stands this year right now, we've made 2 responses into West College Hill and or Golfway, and we're paid $350 per run. That's critical ALS calls only. They get on the apparatus, they drive over, they initiate care, they transfer care to a Springfield Township ambulance. We use none of our supplies, and they're back in the township. Average length of those responses is 20 minutes. In Pleasant Run, we make or have a contract to first respond on every EMS call, critical ALS or BLS. Once again, we average there 1.04 calls per day into Pleasant Run. We have an $84,000 contract to cover those calls. They once again last right at 20 minutes. We drive over, we initiate care. They arrive with their medic units, we transfer care, we use no supplies, and we return to the township. I've split the pie any number of ways here to show that we do not lose money doing this. Do we make money hand over fist? No, we're not a for-profit agency. Do we cover costs and make money? Yes. So, either using the FEMA equipment rate or a rate that looks at, $1 per $1,000 of valuation on a piece of apparatus. I calculated all of those out for engine 109, which goes to Pleasant Run, for engine 26, which goes to West College Hill. I likewise calculated a rate for our spare Unit 209. That's a 30-year-old truck that we put in service when one of those pieces of frontline apparatus is out. And regardless of how I cut that pie, all of our numbers are in the green. So, once again, do we make money hand over fist? No. Do I think that, the administration of Springfield Township sees a benefit to us going over there? Absolutely. And they contract and or pay us per run. Could they, though, just call us mutual aid? Absolutely. We have a mutual aid agreement in Hamilton County. Mutual aid, it's a reciprocal thing. There's no exchange of dollars. So I believe that it's an agreement that works for them. It works for us. If I was standing up here telling you that we were losing money hand over fist, I'd be telling you we need to do something different because it's not fair to our township residents and businesses nor our firefighters to continuously be over there. So that contract in West College Hill is a 1-year contract, renewable. The contract in Pleasant Run is a 3-year contract. It will be up at the end of next year. As far as those other 2 corners, I think it's Springdale covers the Hollydale area, and I think it's Reading that covers the Edgemont area. And then we have those other 2 corners. Prior to us covering West College Hill Golfway, it was the Cincinnati Fire Department, but that wasn't renewed, and the contract was signed then with us. So hopefully that sheds some light on what we do and how we do it. And once again, if anybody ever has any questions about any of that, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that, because a citizen did address that, and I did see you go back and talk to her. Hopefully, she was comforted for what you said and showed your results there.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell people what I know, not what I don't know, and try to use facts and examples in respect to that. And I did speak with that resident for about 45 minutes after the last meeting.
And I appreciate you addressing it. Also, I've always supported those reciprocal agreements and the fact that we get paid when there's a situation where we might not. I live about a half a mile inside of Colerain Township, and if I had an emergency, which I fortunately have never had, and Green happened to show up because all of our equipment was somewhere else, I'd be glad somebody showed up. I think when you're in an emergency situation, you're glad to see somebody show up, and that doesn't just happen. It happens through a lot of your communication with our surrounding municipalities and townships, and I support the agreement, and I'm glad we are able to recover some cost on those.
I think in respect to mutual aid and automatic aid, I have a responsibility as the fire chief to the residents and businesses here to see to it that time matters. And I've used the Interstate 74 example before. For us to get to Interstate 74, it's somewhere between 10 and 13 minutes. That's engine 103 and medic 26. Whitewater Township engine 105 and West Jad Medics ALS 105 can be there in 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So they're a part of that alarm response, but it's reciprocal. We give things to them when they need it, and they give some things to us when we need it. So I feel like, as the fire chief then, I'm doing the responsible thing by seeing to it that we're getting somebody there in 4 minutes, not 10 to 13 minutes. So I try to look at things a lot of different ways, but also look at humanity and doing the right thing.
I think you're doing a great job with it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
That will conclude administrative reports for the evening.
Okay, then I guess we're going to go to trustee reports. Who wants to go first?
I'll be quick.
Okay.
The folks that put on our fireworks, congratulations to them for moving the weather up a couple hours so we were able to get the rain out of the way and have a very nice fireworks display. We've had a couple call-ins from, thank you for doing that. Next item. Memory Lane, to those of you on Memory Lane, we're well aware of the issues there and we are working on them. The new fire station construction, I went back on Clara Lane just a few hours ago to see how things were going there. All the steel is on site. There's a safety fence around the site. Looks like the concrete is in with a lot of plumbing and stuff coming up out of the concrete. The building on Generation Drive is a little ways ahead of that in construction. The frame's up. They've done some internal concrete block construction within the steel frame area. According to my recent conversation with you, everything's sort of running on time and with Generation, and I was a little slow on Clara, but not too bad. And we talked about the light at Coogan and Adams, and my other item is, and I know we talked about this last month, and it was mentioned earlier, one of the big problems is that goes through many years worth of trustees is people dumping items because they don't know where to go with them. I'd like to remind you that next time you're going up 27 north of Struble, you will see the wonderful convenience center that was built there, and anybody can pull into Rumpke's operation off Struble Road and pay a small fee and go properly dispose of items right there at the customer convenience center. You're on pavement the whole time. You don't have to go back the landfill anymore, and you can get in and out of there a lot faster than you ever could. So I would encourage people to utilize that. It's not that expensive to properly dispose of your items that you don't normally set out with your weekly trash collection. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. First thing, we have our second annual pickleball tournament on Saturday, August 10th at 10 a.m. Please call and register your teams. Are you registered this year?
I'm registered. I'm hoping to win one game at least this time.
Okay. And we have our costumes ready to go?
I do not have my costume ready, but I will be trying to repeat as the best dressed for the event.
Okay. So there's that. Come and watch Jeff try to win a game in his costume. The second thing, if anybody comes and visits our rotunda, we're on phase 2, and we have the Nepali art display out there. So please come and visit our township rotunda. And when it comes back to the fireworks, somebody said early to me that they've been through a couple different cities and township, and this is the best group of people that they've ever worked with. And being on the summer events committee, knowing how much work goes on to put on an event. And the thing that warmed my heart the most is that the families that were out there dancing to the wonderful music, dads and daughters, dads and sons out there just dancing. And I looked around and how safe everybody felt. And I wanted to thank all our emergency services for making outsiders. People came from Kentucky, Indiana, all parts of, around our area, and they feel good here, and they had a great time. It ended up being a wonderful, wonderful time. And I just wanted to thank every person in this township. The music was wonderful to the fireworks. There was so much. The food trucks, everybody just pitched in and did such a wonderful job. And we were in our meeting and the rain was splashing over the gutters. Everybody went out there and cleaned up their areas, and we made it work. And it was wonderful. And I want to take a thank you to everybody in Colerain Township that made that happen.
Yes, thank you to everybody, to the events committee that put on the 4th and all the events of the 3rd and 4th, which have become quite a tradition here in the township. I emailed to Mr. Weckbach a couple of the courses. You have my fraud certificate now, and I also emailed, although I'm not required to take it for this, but I am for something else, the open meetings and records certificate as well. And I guess that's just about it. The other thing is grass blowings. It's great that people blow their grass. Don't blow them into the street and let motorcycles hit it and have it go into the gutter system and things like that. You clean them up. It creates a huge problem. We all have to share this place together, and a little bit more humanity never hurt anyone. And I'm disappointed to lose one of my favorite stores in the township, Half Price Books. I still go to brick and mortar stores and if they start with the words half in price. Usually you kind of reeled me in, but I'm about 10 bookshelves in right now, so I guess I'll be all right and survive. So it was disappointing to see that go, but I know that it's going to be replaced with a brand new building, and hopefully they'll find a new location as well. And thanks to all the department heads who presented this evening and all the hard work everybody's doing. I think this is a fantastic team from top to bottom, and I don't think that we say it enough. Thank you so much. That's it.
Okay, then we'll go on to new business.
First item of new business tonight, Board, is out of the Police Department.
Welcome back.
All right, we have one item tonight. It's a resolution declaring nuisance and ordering abatement. This resolution allows for the removal of uncontrolled vegetation and/or refuge at the following properties: 2723 Barthus Place, 4419 Day Road, 9871 Marino Drive, 3289 Sienna Drive, and recommend adoption of the resolution.
A motion that we would approve the resolution declaring nuisance and ordering abatement at the properties described by Chief Cordy.
I'll second.
Ms. Orch?
Yes.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board. The last item of new business tonight will be presented by Assistant Administrator Jeff McElravy.
Welcome, sir.
Good evening, thank you.
Good evening.
Bear with me here just one moment.
So to offer a helpful hand, this is the motion to adopt the 2025 tax budget.
And I'm just going to say what Matt normally says. Did you turn it off and turn it on?
So yes, let's see, this is item 11A, and this is the final step in the first part of the 2025 budget process, and that is adoption of the tentative tax budget. Adoption this evening will keep us on schedule in order to comply with the requirements from the County Budget Commission. The report shows the forecasted receipts for 25, the fund balance for each fund as of January 1 of this year, and the expenses that are in the long-term financial forecast beginning in the year 2025. It is due to the auditor, the Hamilton County Auditor, on the 20th, and staff recommendation is adoption of the motion.
I motion that we would adopt the 2025 tax budget.
I'll second. Any discussions?
Yes, I am looking at you might not have this in front of you, line 2904 is the Duke Energy development down on Colerain Avenue.
Yes.
And our total investment there, and this might have been, were you here at the time, Mr. McElravy?
That project was underway when I joined the township.
Right, and I think we had an investment of, we bought the hotel,
Yes.
we tore it down, we
Yes.
sold the cleared land to Duke, and I want to say we were about $80,000 into that, and that has, just this past budget cycle has recovered $143,000, and that's going to go on for another 28 years,
Yeah,
27 years.
And the existing balance at the start of this year, 128, that's after we paid the school district their cut for the past couple of years as
So
well.
they did well with it, we did well with it. That was that in 2019?
2019 is when I believe we had the ribbon cutting on the new Duke
Right, so
facility.
wow, where did the last 5 years go? But that is an example of a very positive outcome for the township in revenue. And you know, this board in particular, we've started trying to develop more and more TIFs. So that's, and they're not getting a tax break, it's just that we're harvesting most of the revenue rather than having it dispersed throughout Hamilton County.
That's correct.
And I'm just looking at that 143,000 and thinking, wow, that was a pretty good return on that's a pretty good annual return for a one-time out-of-pocket of $80,000. So, and there's several that are smaller than that, but the folks that were in at that time 5 years ago questioning in it, I wish they were here now to see how it worked out.
So yes, sir. It's the Duke TIF is one of the more mature TIFs, along with the Kroger TIF and the Town Center TIF. The others are still relatively new and are being built out. So as that valuation grows, the return to the township will grow as well.
And in addition, we have a great service facility to provide really good service for the invisible servant, which is the electric that lights this room and powers our air conditioning and makes the township a first world place to live. Without electric, where would we be? So it's all worked out great. Sometimes it takes 5 years to see that. In this case, it took 2 years. So
Where is the capital reserve account?
So the capital reserve is a calculation that we do as part of the budget process. It is not presented as part of the tax budget because it's a separate planning tool that we use to.
I know we won off that. Do we have an idea what that's at?
North of $1 million, south of $2 million. I can't remember exactly what the number is, but I know we put, what was it, $10,000 into it this year.
Put something in it, yeah.
And I want to say it was about 1.1 to 1.2 if I'm zeroing in.
I just keep thinking about all the heat we took for the Duke thing and how well it's worked out.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So
Yeah, there was a lot of elevated voices and stuff at the time. It's very quiet now as the funds roll in from it. So,
And soon all our cars will be running off of electricity.
that's in a parallel universe. That's not practical. Anyway, I'm just glad to see that pointed out on here. And this is available for anyone to see. It's on our agenda if you look it up on our website. So, thank you. Anything else?
Ms. Orich?
Yes.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Thank you, Board.
thank you, Board. I had 3 items on the consent agenda tonight. The first is a series of new hires in the fire department. These are part-time firefighter EMTs at a rate of $17.46. And the list of individuals are Jeremy Amend, Gavin Callentine, Noah Kurtner, Ryan Dalton, Miranda Jones, Gavin Posey, Navin Sigris Balama, Joshua Spears, and Alexander Stensky. We have an engagement letter with Frost Brown Todd for continuing disclosure on the 2022 fire bonds in the amount of $4,000 and an agreement with PNC for treasury management services that does not have an expiration. And I would recommend adoption of all consent items.
I motion we would adopt the consent items as presented.
I'll second.
On the PNC Treasury Management Services Agreement, what was your comment right after that?
It does not have a built-in expiration, but like our other agreements with PNC, it's a 30-day window of notification.
Okay. Thank you.
Ms. Orich?
Yes.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Okay, back to you. Any fiscal officer report?
Thank you, Board. Just a couple things. First, we have completed 312, or we have received 312 public records requests as of today's date, and there are 5 active. So we are working again very diligently to get those done quickly. And lastly, the bank reconciliation has been completed for the month of June, and the adjusted bank balance as of June 30th was $44,979,413.85. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Is there a need for an executive session?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And then we're going to move to adjournment. Does somebody want a motion?
I motion we would adjourn the meeting at 7:50 PM.
I'll second.
Ms. Orich?
Yes.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Okay, meeting's adjourned at 7:50. Thank you.